Hi everyone, Danny Shepherd here from DannyShepherd.com, and today I just wanted to share with you a quick tip about how to remove unwanted people from a photo. This trick comes in really handy anytime you're shooting photos in a crowded location with lots of people around that make it difficult to get a clear shot of your subject. For example, in this photo of a local waterfall. Where I live, there really aren't many waterfalls, and two of the biggest ones around happen to be on private property and are not accessible to the public. But once a year, the local Rotary Club organizes a weekend where the public can walk down to view these falls. So as you might expect, it gets extremely busy and there are a lot of photographers and tripods and people taking selfies in the waterfall, family photos, all kinds of people. And it can be very difficult to get one without somebody else in the picture. So at first I wasn't even going to bother taking a photo. It was just so busy, people everywhere. But since I had carried my gear down, I figured I'd give it a try. So I found a decent spot to set up and decided to see if I could wait until my frame cleared. And of course there was a couple of photographers that were sitting just to the left side of the frame. And I thought I would just wait, see how long it would take them to pack up and move on. And sure enough, after a couple of minutes, they decided to pack up and go. However, then I noticed that one of them wasn't leaving at all and was actually walking further into the frame. And I knew there was no way I was going to get a clear shot anytime soon. And I had my wife and my son with me, and they were not going to want to wait around until this guy came back down, and by then somebody else would walk into the frame. So I thought that was it. I'm not going to get a clear photo today. But then this technique came to mind. So I quickly grabbed this first photo. You can see he's walking up the rocks here. So I took this first frame and then waited until he was moved to his new location. But a minute later, he had set up his tripod just up the waterfall a little ways. Here he is here, and I took my second frame. And so now the trick is to take both of these frames, combine them into one shot where there's no photographer at all. And to do that, we're going to go into Photoshop. Okay, so I'll go down, I'll make sure I select both of my frames here, and select Edit In, and Open as Layers in Photoshop. Okay, so here we are in Photoshop. Both frames are opened up as separate layers. If you look in the Layers panel here, you can see on the top I have my first frame where the photographer is climbing up the rock. If I hide that frame, then underneath that you see the picture of the photographer near the top of the waterfall. So I'll just redisplay the top layer, and the trick here is to mask out the photographer from the top layer and show the layer underneath where there's no photographer in this area. So to do that, I'll make sure my top layer is selected, add a layer mask. I make sure that my brush color is black and that I have my brush selected. I'm using a fairly large brush here, I guess, and the hardness is set to 100% because I want to completely mask him out. And I just start painting. And just like that, he starts to disappear. It reveals the layer beneath. And I have no more people in the frame. I didn't have to wait for the photographer to finish what he was doing, taking pictures, or take the chance that other people would come and stand in the frame. And I was able to quickly grab those couple of photos, and I'm done. Now this example was pretty straightforward. There was just one person, but of course you could apply this to scenarios where you have a lot of people. It would just require taking more frames, creating more layers and layer masks to mask out each individual person as needed. Of course, the really neat thing about this trick is that it can allow you to get a photo of your subject that may otherwise be nearly impossible to achieve if there are people around. So that's it, a quick and easy way to remove unwanted people from your photos. Thanks for watching, and I hope you found that helpful. Remember to subscribe to my YouTube station and to follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook to see more tips and videos. Later on.